guys? Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time, my name is Vlad, and on this channel we discuss different apparel printing techniques. In today's video, I wanted to just kind of discuss with you my experience so far. It's been about a little less than 2 weeks since I bought the Epson F2100. I promised you guys that I would document my experiences as much as possible to be able to share it with everybody. So let's jump into it. The setup of the printer once the printer arrived was extremely easy for the most part, other than you need a few people to help you get it into place. The pre-treater, which is the speed treater from Equipment Zone, was also fairly easy to set up. They ask you to jump into the printer and try to do some printing on your own before you do your training, so that way once you get to do your training you'll have more detailed questions to be able to ask. So I did that. We printed on some white shirts because that's probably the easiest way to start since you don't need to pre-treat. I put out a video walking, showing the whole process of us doing that. Fairly simple to do that. Then we tried to do some dark colored shirts. That was an epic fail in the beginning. But yesterday we had our training session, which was very informative. They go over every single aspect from the maintenance of the machine, the program Garment Creator that Epson provides, which is their RIP software, to send artwork to the printer. They show you how to estimate costs of jobs and different types of things like that. They show you how to set up the pre-treater, how to do the maintenance of the pre-treater, how to, change the nozzles when you need to, clean them if you're not going to be using them for a while. They go over a lot of different things, so it's a lot of information crunched into a very short amount of time. I actually did something smart, I guess. I recorded most of it. That way we can go back and watch it again if we needed any clarity on anything. But they're actually really good at Equipment Zone. You can always just pick up the phone, shoot them an email. They're very helpful with anything you have. So what's the process been like so far? There's pros and cons, I would say, from what I see so far. So let's start with the pros. Pro number one is that you're able to print any design fairly quickly, right? So any piece of artwork within a few minutes can go from the computer to a shirt and be done, right? With screen printing, you have to set burn screens, you have to, coat screens, burn screens, set up the press, ink it, tape it off. There's a whole process. To do one shirt, especially if there's multiple colors, not feasible unless you're doing it completely as a hobby and you don't care how long it takes you to set up. You're just doing it for the fun of doing it. But if you're doing this as a business, which I am, then that's not feasible. There are laser printed transfers, white toner printers, that give you the ability to print multicolored designs and transfer them onto shirts. So a friend of mine has a printer. I had a customer who needed some masks done, and it was a multicolored design, and I knew I could gang a bunch of them up on a sheet, so I just asked him to print me a few sheets. It just made more sense that way. We applied them. I really didn't like the way they felt. The customer, by the way, was super happy, right? So let's just talk about that. Most people out there don't know what's good and what's not. For those of us that have been printing, when we see something or feel something, we can tell, if it was printed well, if it was printed using plastisol ink, water-based ink, if it's a transfer, if you have some experience in apparel printing, you're able to feel some of these things and be able to tell what it is. So with the laser transfers, I wasn't very happy with the way they looked. Just wasn't my thing, and that's probably one of the reasons why I never bought the printer myself. I looked into it. It was just really a lot of steps. My staff, I need to make it as easy as possible for them to be able to get their job done in the least amount of steps as possible, right? So I need to make it easy for them to produce the best quality work. And I hope that makes sense to you guys. So laser transfers didn't work out for me. Printing transfers from, Stalls or 613 or FNN, wherever you get your transfers from, that's cool, but you have to create the artwork, send it to them, wait for them to produce it, ship it back to you. We're lucky enough to be not too far away from 613 Originals, so there's days that I can actually, send the artwork one day and the next day go pick up a job if I really needed to. If it's ready, obviously. So, but there still is that 24-hour period. So when it came to DTG, I figured I always have shirts in stock, right? I have a lot of customers that are looking for one-off designs, and I also have a lot of customers that are looking for rush orders, right? So they need stuff turned around very quickly, especially in today's day and age with the pandemic and everything. A lot of people are forced to wait till the last minute because they don't know what's going to happen. Are we going back into lockdown? Am I going to be able to have this event? Am I going to be able to do this? Am I not? So they're really out of necessity being forced to wait, which is leaving people in a little bit of a predicament when it comes to, getting their stuff on time. Excuse me. So that's why I decided to make the leap and buy the Epson F2100. Did a bunch of research. Decided to buy it from Equipment Zone because they are local, right? So I talk a lot about doing business with local companies, and sometimes I end up paying more money because I do business with local companies. Like my vinyl supplier is local. My screen ink supplier is local. And now my DTG supplier is local. Why? Because sometimes you run into issues where you need to get something quickly. And if you have to rely on ordering it, where in New Jersey, say I had to order it in California, right? Even if they shipped it express 2-day, right? Which most companies, you're going to pay a lot of money for that. Nobody offers really 2-day free shipping cross country. But let's say they did, you would still have to wait 2 days. So if you were out, let's say, of white ink for your DTG printer, you would have to wait 2 days to get a new cartridge. That's 2 days of production that you lost. Now, you might be thinking, well, why don't you, if you know you're running low, just order it in advance. That is true. But sometimes what happens to us, and that might be different from you guys, because we do so much production here, sometimes we think we have enough of something, and then we actually don't, right? And this is, something in the business that I am trying to change. We're putting some operating procedures in place to be able to stop that. But having a supplier that is local, that you can send somebody there, or they can drop it off to you, or whatever the case is, you can get in the car and drive 20, 30 minutes and go pick up the supplies that you need, is essential. I could tell you there's been countless amounts of cases where, I just ran out of something and I needed it. In the middle of the job, we ran out of it and we needed it. There's been times where our customer has come in and asked for a specific color that we didn't have. And if I had to order ink, I'm just, gonna say, just for example terms, if I had to order ink from Ryonet, right? I think they ship out of like Washington or something like that. I might be wrong. But it's still going to take a few days for this ink to come. Now, if the person is looking for 24-hour turnaround and is paying top dollar and paying rush fees, right, because they really need their product, I would not be able to deliver it, right? Having an ink supplier down the street, where I could drive 10 minutes, get the ink they need, come back, do the job, and deliver it to the customer, not only makes us money, it also builds extremely loyal customers. Our customers come back time and time again because we're able to do the right thing for them. So buying the DTG machine, for me, was another way to provide value to our customers. By the way, just a quick insert. If you don't have customers, don't buy a DTG machine. I'm telling you now. Take my advice. Go out there, get business, outsource it, build a customer base, and then buy a machine. If you buy a machine and then expect to get customers, you're in for a big surprise. Right? You're in for a big surprise because these machines only work best when you use them on a daily basis. When they are working, right, they last forever. From the research I've done, the people that use them in production settings, right, and have worked for this machine every single day do not have issues. Of course, eventually a part is going to break. You might, a few years down the line have a damaged print head. There are things that will come up, but if the machine is sitting idle, you're going to have way more problems than if you use it every single day. From all the research I've done, everybody says the same thing, so I'm sure that has to be the truth. The biggest con that I found so far is the maintenance that the machine requires. Okay, let me take that back. The maintenance that the process of DTG requires on a daily basis. It's not difficult, right? It's not difficult, and it doesn't take a long time. It's, 10 minutes, 15 minutes at most at the end of the day when you're done printing. But there's a lot of steps, right? So when you talk about business, training one of your staff members and making sure that they do this at the end of their shift when they're eager to go home, I see being an issue. Now, right now, right, I am able to, be here and make sure that the stuff gets done. But as we grow, right, we need to put procedures in place to make sure that this happens on a daily basis, that the machine doesn't end up falling behind its maintenance schedule and giving us issues that cost money, right? So maintenance is a little bit of a con. Now, from the research that I've done, the Epson has the most self-maintenance options of any DTG machine. So it does a lot of self-cleaning, which, helps with that overall maintenance. Another pro, so pro number 2, is that if you're printing one-off designs, the cost of each design is so low. So we're talking, and I guess you need to have a bunch of these every single day for it to make financial sense. But I did a full color, 14 by 16 design as a test print yesterday on a American Apparel 2001 W blank. So the blank cost me, I'm going to say $275. The ink and pre-treat cost for this huge design on a dark colored shirt was $3.17. Let's just say $3.25 to round it off. $3.25 plus $2.75. Excuse me. $375 plus $275. It's way too early. I didn't even have coffee yet. Is $6 if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong, but yes, I think that's $6. If we're selling that shirt for $25 to the customer, that's a good amount of profit. It took us, I don't know, we were learning, so we weren't really timing it, but it had to take us less than 6 minutes, 5 minutes maybe, 5-6 minutes at most. We pre-treated the shirt, we pressed it, we threw it on the printer, it did its thing, we took it off, we pressed it again, and it was done. So, you know, if you can do this 10, 20, 30, 40 times a day, let's just say you're making, because you're going to have labor costs and stuff like that, let's say you're making $10 per shirt clean. You know, if you're able to do 30 shirts a day, that's $300 a day, 5 days a week. That's a decent amount of money. I mean, we're not talking millions here, but the average American makes $300 to $500 a week. And I might be wrong. It might be less. It might be, I know it's probably not more, but I'm just saying, like, the people that I know that have regular jobs, I don't know, they make like $300 to $600 a week. So if I can make $300 a day printing 30 shirts, it's amazing. It's amazing. On top of all the other things that we do, so sublimation, screen printing, embroidery, vinyl, signs, promotional products, right? So we're doing a bunch of different things, but if I can add an extra $300 a day into my business, that'll take my business to the next level. And that is the reason why I got into DTG. So guys, I wanted to just share that with you. I will keep making videos and showing you guys the process. In the next video, we're actually going to do a dark colored shirt. So I'll walk you guys through the whole process of, you know, pre-treating the shirt, everything from start to finish, how to make a shirt. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Leave them in the comments below. And please make sure you hit that bell notification and that subscribe button so you're notified every time I post a new video. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.